Hey guys, welcome back. Day 98 post-surgery update here. So I don't have a weigh-in update for you, but I do have two topics that I want to talk to you guys about. So one of them is the app that I've been using for tracking food and stuff. So when you start going through the process, especially here in Manitoba, they do recommend using an app called MyFitnessPal. And it's basically a tracking app. You can track your water intake, track your food intake. I didn't use it for water, I just use it for food, but it has a lot of really awesome tracking features and abilities. And I had paid for the upgraded version because it allows you to track your food a little bit more in depth. So I chose to go that route, especially not knowing how much detail they were going to want when I met with the dietitian and kinesiologist, so I just did it. Personally, I really like the app. One of the really cool things about it is if you're doing big batches of food, like for example, the chili that we were doing during the soft food phase, I would just put all the ingredients that I was making into there and then say how many portions I got. And then I could just go back to that meal that I created and track that meal. And, once I leveled up and was able to increase my food intake, I was able to edit how much of that I was eating. But it just made tracking so much easier, not having to go in every day and add the beans and the small portions of everything, right? And try and figure it out yourself. So I'm sure there's lots of apps like that, but personally I just liked that feature. And most of the foods, there's a lot of foods already preloaded, and if there isn't, you can add things pretty easily. There is even a manual entry if you just know the amount that's in everything, so it's pretty cool. So that is called MyFitnessPal for anybody that's looking for a tracking app. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is something that shocked me leading up to surgery, is just how much protein is actually in food. So when they told me I had to reach 60 to 80 grams of protein a day, at first I was a little bit hesitant, especially knowing I was going to have to cut back how much food I was eating. I'm like, how is that even possible? But when push came to shove and it was time to actually start doing it, and I'm starting to pay attention, a chicken breast, if you have half a cup of chicken breast, you're at 20 grams of protein, right? So it's really not that hard. Most protein shakes are 20 to 30 grams of protein. So it's really actually not that hard. And I was looking the other day in the freezer and I noticed that this pizza that happened to be sitting in my freezer, I wanted to look, curiosity, and it was 23 grams of protein for half of a thin crust pizza, a loads of meat pizza. I was like, wow. Not that I would be eating that much, but it just blew my mind. How was it? No, 23 or 32? I don't know. I think it was 32 actually. Anyways, it blew my mind just how much protein is in the food that we're eating, and we don't even realize it because we don't usually pay attention to that, right? So just food for thought, guys. Don't let those stats overwhelm you because you'd be surprised how easy it is. I easily almost always get 60 grams of protein in a meal. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.